talk about smart nonsense. Oh, okay.
Those have been really synced up in episodes that I've been watching. So
Really?
Congratulations. Yeah.
That might be Ken helping us out a bit. I did see the preview on YouTube of our intro, and man, I look tartan.
What does that mean?
Tartan.
Like dainty?
I look dainty, dude.
But
I did some. My windmill was weird, and then I didn't like my. I don't know.
So you didn't like the motion. It wasn't what you were wearing, or
no. It was everything about my personality at the start. I didn't like it one bit.
Okay.
But also I listened to, now that the pods are coming out again, I listened to one on the way here, and man, I was a negative Nelly, low energy.
Was it the mountain pod?
Oh yeah, it was.
Yeah,
you took 30 minutes to get the Wi-Fi, and then I was cooked by the end of it, I think. So
right,
sassy cat.
Yeah, it was Mumbly Mo for the first half.
It was
and
Mumbly Mo too, dude.
You opened up around me, my bowling, which was really funny to listen back on. I forgot about that. Yeah, dude, really fun to just record your calls every day and listen to them. Really, really cool thing we do.
Yeah. Well, one thing, dude, I don't want to get too business right out the gate, but I don't.
Careful.
I like this. I was listening to My First Million, and they were talking with, I think, Blake Scholl, the guy that makes like Black Scholes, but
Boom.
not. Boom Supersonic, the first supersonic plane since the Concorde commercial plane. That's their goal, at least. He was talking about stories with Jeff Bezos of Amazon, because he used to work there, and I liked it. Like, he's telling how he thinks from first principles and stuff, and he can just, you'll be working on a problem, it's your whole job is to work on this problem, then Jeff just comes in one day and he like hears about it for 5 minutes and just tells you a solution you never thought about. It's like, that's really cool. The problem is, though, you never really get into the room with those guys. Like, you kind of hear the stories after the fact. Not saying this podcast is unique.
Oh, that's where this is going?
But if we turn into Amazon one day, you're in the room with us. You get to see the whole thought process on every decision. So that's
Leave.
cool.
Exit the room now.
But even like, there was a Stripe conference, and they had Jony Ive, who normally doesn't give interviews. They had him on, but it was just talking this like woo-woo high level like design theory stuff, and I'm just like, dude, can someone just hand Jony like a brick and be like, carve this into something great on the stage right now, please? I'm like, I want to see the man in action, dude. But I mean, it's also, it's not like a it's like all these micro decisions. I know it's hard to condense down, but like, I'd love that. At the same time, was it Johnny? Might have been Johnny. I think the one takeaway from that talk was he loved designing a product, but it's like a secret to the customers. Like, they don't know the magic that's coming their way. And he gets really excited about like, oh, we're cooking up something good. It's like a little surprise coming your way. Granted, we have no surprise, dude. We're Subway out here. We're making your foot long right out in the open.
Well, I was going to say, and I don't, maybe we don't have any preamble today. I do in my notes, but Draw V2 was a surprise for me. If you want to talk about Draw V2, because you were just in a room in a text message with our developer, Big J, Jared, and you guys, I basically, Draw was talking about the Brain Blast app, doing SAT math problems with friends. You have the ability to write in the app so that you can do math problems on the toilet. That was your thing, dude. You are Mr. Draw. I don't know how that happened, but you became Mr. Draw. And so I basically just left you two to figure that one out. And so when I updated my test flight this morning and I had Draw V2, dude, congratulations, dude. Nobody knows it yet, but this just fucking is awesome.
Rocks, dude. You also use it in a way that I didn't anticipate, which is really funny to me. That's a 30,000-foot view.
The market provides. Actually, just to give a marker in time, basically before today, we had a math problem come up, and then you could click a pencil on screen, and like the whole view changed, and now you're in a white infinite canvas where you could do math. The Jony Ive that you've been working on all this time is, you're like, I don't want to make any of those actions. I just want to come into a math problem and be able to draw on everything immediately, all the time, right away. Right. And I told you, I was like, I don't think, because that also gets into like scaling in and scaling out and dragging around this infinite canvas. And I was like, I don't think you can do that with a math problem and then like selectable answer choices, because we won't run B-roll. Like I've just zoomed out. I guess it has to be on my camera here. Okay, wow.
Yeah.
And it's a white screen, so hey.
Funny. Dude, you're going to be the funniest boomer when you're older because you're already doing shit. Well, dude. I guess maybe the camera can see, but
no, it can't because it's a
you
white
do that
screen.
On every Zoom call and no one can ever see anything.
I know. So I'm zoomed in. And then, dude, fuck me, dude.
Don't
Draw
reveal
V2.
The present, dude. Just get ready for the launch in a month. Yeah, it was one of those things where taking the principles of video and one world, like anytime you do a hard cut in video, you got to like recalibrate your brain, and it's like just icky. We just wanted, like, if you did like the written SAT, you just get one problem on a page and you get a whole page to fucking do the problem. I'm like, give me that. I just want one page, problem in the middle. You can move around anywhere on the screen or on the paper and write, and just like copy a paper problem. And that's what we pretty much got. Got like some tiny bugs, but not big enough to stop building the next thing, which we'll get into. Yeah, it feels good. Honestly, dude, what I'm happiest about, I've had that vision for a while on how it should feel, and it's pretty much there. And I thought it was possible because Figma, I kind of hacked together a version of this. Like Figma has clickable buttons on a screen, and you can go anywhere on the infinite canvas and still click on the button. So I'm like, Figma can do it, we can do it. And that's a little Steve Jobsy thing. It's like he kind of pushed people. I'm not Steve Jobs. I'm just saying, dude. I'm saying he pushed people beyond their limits, and I think we need a little bit more of that. We can't just give up so easily if we have a vision.
Yeah, so that's cool. What titled this episode? I am Jony Ive now.
Nice.
So, every episode he's a new founder.
I like, yeah. Steven Evan Spiegel before. That's actually a really funny series. Thank you. And watch out, Bezos was in there too, and we're better than Bezos. But my proudest feature, because it was just like take the screen and eliminate all the crap from it. My proudest one was figuring out how to get rid of the submit button, because that took up a decent amount of space and was in the bottom corner. And now when you click an answer choice, the answer choice has the submit button go on that, so you can just double tap immediately. You don't have to go find the submit button in a different part of the screen that takes up space. That could be canvas. I was really happy about that. So,
congratulations,
Jony Ive, dude.
Jony Ive Jr. It did remind, the double tap to submit an answer reminded me of double tap to like.
Oh,
that was a novel feature at the time. You know, like you used to have to press the heart, and on Facebook you would press the like button, and it was probably Instagram that created the double tap, and that's just it rocks.
Right.
What's funny is by the time anyone gets to touch this, it's just going to be completely different from what we're talking about. It's actually probably not. Like we're laying a fairly solid foundation of functional stuff.
Yeah, I don't think that stuff.
It's just kind of funny.
Much.
Tell us, dude. You've been. Let me get this quote right. What do you got?
Well, I wanted to roadmap stuff, but I didn't know if
that's my bad, because before the roadmap stuff, I want to hear about a little bit, maybe about, and I quote, "I've been living it up." Ow! Fuck! I think I might have had a heart attack. Been living it up, dude, because you got an interesting DM.
Well,
and it's not every day you get an interesting DM.
Well, that's the thing, dude. It was interesting, but it didn't even register as interesting. Because I'm Jony Ive. I get a lot of these. No, I go in DM. Well, actually, before I even saw the DM, I saw I had a follow. And actually, it's my last notification. So if I want to be a boomer, dude.
Well, I do it a little lower. There it is. Yeah, but make sure it's on the camera.
I got both. Camera first, dude.
And for the 56 audio listeners, that was a notification saying Eric follows you.
Yeah. He follows me. And he doesn't follow many. He follows 405 people. So I'm one of them.
It's like a month ago when John Cena followed me and I freaked out.
Wow.
And then I went and looked and he follows like either 10,000 or 100,000 people, a million people. And you're like, you just responded, you're like, yeah, he's been following me. For years. Like, why is John Cena following us? And why is he following a million people?
It's not John Cena, dude. It's Juano. Yeah, so he DM'd. There's nothing crazy there because he DM'd me 2 years ago, March 5th, 2023, saying like he's making a second channel and then fucking looking for someone he's looking for an editor. And I'm like, how'd you find me? And then he ghosted me. I'll put screenshots, I guess. But and then he just came back 2 years later and he's like, how have you been? Dude, I don't know why every important person messages like they're full blown, but dude, yo, how have you been? To the guy that just ghosted me for 2 years. I don't know. Another toxic girlfriend in my arsenal? Maybe.
But then your response.
Oh.
Also slightly
how
toxic.
do I respond to that, dude? I
know.
I didn't know, so I'm just like, fuck it. I'm just going to fling shit at him. He's like, yo, how have you been? And I'm like, yo, been living it up. What's up with you?
That's where it is.
Been living it up. Should I tell him about the span? Maybe send him the pod.
Tell him about the sloppy span. He actually came back with a real seeming message, right? Looking for some video editing help, potentially.
Yeah, dude, perfect. He knows about running a remote editor company. Dude, he's plugged in. Asked to set up a call and he ghosted. But no, good
Been
things
living
cooking.
it up.
Yeah, another thing, dude, which I didn't know you were living it up until this morning, but since you're a YouTuber, you're actually going head to head with one of our inspirations, a woman by the name of Cleo Abram.
Yes, sir.
She happens to be doing sponsored shorts for the same company that you're doing sponsored shorts for.
Oh, yeah. So we just did a batch. Well, we've only done one, but we sold a batch of 3 sponsored shorts to Sam Altman's new company, World Coin, World ID, all of the above.
No idea what it does.
I'll tell you what it does because I wrote the short. It basically just verifies you're a human on the internet. That's what it does. And it does that with their orb that scans your iris because only humans got irises. And the iris is the colored part of your eye. Do you know that?
No.
Yeah. You know what the cornea is?
Give me a sec. Is that where the rods and cones are?
No, but we can get into red light next. Cornea. You scratched your cornea. Think about it. And actually, I'm not 100% certain, but I'm about 80.
Cornea. No, that's what's the surface of the sun? Corona?
Yeah. It's not the surface. I think it's the
cornea.
Kind of the atmosphere of the sun is the corona.
I don't know what it is.
The whites, dude. I'm pretty sure it's the whites. All the white. That's cornea. Iris. Oh wait. So iris is the color part. So pupil would be. Is the pupil black? Yeah. Dude, I do shorts.
Is the pupil's black?
Well, come on. Now I got to get a diagram.
But is the pupil's actually a thing? It's not like you're seeing the back of your eyeball. Why would it be different
The pupil's
colors?
your aperture. Pupil's the aperture of the eyeball, right? Because it grows and shrinks for light.
And what's on the? Hold on. Now, what's in the middle of the pupil?
Okay. Oh, dude. Okay, hang on. Cornea is not white, dude. Cornea is not white. Well, okay. Wait, hang on. So the cornea is the whole lens. It's like the whole thing's cornea.
Okay.
Yeah, sclera's the white, it seems.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, sclera's the white. Iris is the color.
So where's the light coming through the pupil? It's coming through the pupil, but the pupil's black. So how's light getting through that?
No, well, but it's not actually a black hole.
But it looks like it.
Well, yeah, it does, doesn't it? It lets light.
It's letting. There's no light going through there, dude. It's a black hole.
Oh fuck.
Something's fishy, dude. I don't like it one bit. I gotta get back.
What were we talking about?
Well,
my short.
Fuck, what were we talking
Yo,
about?
you scan your iris to verify you're a human
iris.
on the internet.
Oops.
Yeah, and I think they're throwing a lot of money at marketing that because people are kind of scared about the whole dystopian angle. I'm not scared, right? Because they're paying us. So, and Cleo, they're paying Cleo. That's what we're talking about. Cleo's also doing a short for them next. Yeah, but she had to push it back, I think, because she was she couldn't go to some event or some. Dude, come on, it's just me and Cleo out here.
Yeah, that's cool. It's big leagues. Made it to the big leagues.
Yeah, we are trying to. I'm really concerned about this black hole now. But yeah, we're trying to do more sponsored stuff, trying to actually make money off our content, trying to do it right. Krishna's beast in the operations for Smart Nonsense, so we're not just slinging stuff around. Honestly, I was just slinging stuff around and everything was falling through the cracks. So that's good.
Slinger.
That's good.
All right. Well, if we're still on business, because I mean, I'll be gone next week, but I got some not sloppy.
Where are you going?
But I got
Where are you going?
I'm going to Rhode Island
for the whole week.
A few days. Got to come back for some hockey games.
I start flight school next week. I'm gonna fly for 3 hours next week. Yeah,
gonna be 7 a.m. Pretty good.
Bright and early.
$2,000 worth of gear.
Oh yeah, that number's going down. I ended up finding a really good headset on Facebook Marketplace. $600.
Oh, you want to talk about your flashlight, dude?
Oh,
did you want to talk about? I don't.
No, we shouldn't talk about my red flashlight. That is cones and rods, though. Rods and cones.
Nah, well, that means nothing to nobody. Well, let me talk about. I want to get on the record a little brain blast roadmap decision making because Jeff Bezos. So where we're at, we feel pretty good about async. It works. Okay. Don't know if it's fully viral yet, but we like playing each other. It's fun for the time being. The problem is, though, you go in the app, you play a friend or two, and 5 minutes later, you're all out of friends. You juiced them all. And they don't play you back immediately because they got lives of their own. The problem is, the hardest part is getting into the app. Once you're there, we want to lock you in forever. Ideally, you never leave, ever. And you can't do that right now. So we want a version of the game where you can just play unlimited. Two options here. One, which we're leaning this way, we thought we'd go solo. Because solo, don't depend on anybody else. You can just drill problems till the day you die, and you're happy enough. But the other one, which we wanted to do because it's kind of leaning into our strength, is the social multiplayer live heads-up battles, which we kind of took this from GeoGuessr, where it's like you get in a game, one person locks it in, and they set a little timer that's like 15 seconds. The other person has to lock it in. And we can get into some GeoGuessr qualms that we have. But the issue with that was we'd run into the cold start problem, which means if the game's not super viral, there aren't a ton of people playing, you might go into a lobby to like start a game and there's just no one else there. And
nasty paradox.
Right. So we kind of just thought about that paradox for 2 seconds and gave up. And we're like, hey, let's just build solo because it's easy. But
GeoGuessr also started as solo. GeoGuessr went solo, play yourself on the maps of the world, then async with a friend's duel a friend, and then they did like synchronous gameplay and tournaments and stuff.
Which we could do. All our options, really. We could have just launched a solo game, and it's like a game, so it's cool enough. We're kind of just going full kit and caboodle, like give everybody everything. Here, though, we realized when you're playing this game, you don't necessarily need to play another real person because it's basically like, we play each other. I think you texted me something like you don't even know like who you're playing or it doesn't matter. I don't know where it clicked or like chess app or something like that.
Yeah, I think you were in chess app and you were playing bots and you're like, I don't like it's a deterministic game. Like I don't care if I'm playing a bot. It's all just kind of like probabilities. And I was like, yeah. Like bots only get really annoying when you're playing a real-time game like a Fortnite or COD and you shoot a bot and it just starts like teabagging in place. Like that's not fun.
Or snaps to you and kills you. So basically we realized like, hey, while we have this cold start problem, we can pretty much do what a lot of other sort of network effect games or sites do, where they just like actually have bots. And it's just like, hey, you go in a game, say you're a 700 math score. We know roughly like a 700 math score on this problem should take like 40-ish seconds, and they'll get it right 70% of the time. You just roll those probabilities, and then you have a bot immediately. You can probably do even simpler versions. But just by botting the lobbies, we could have multiplayer up and running. Dude, what was that? That was Tartan, really?
No, not you. I was just thinking, like, at the end of your sentence, like, I don't know, everything you said was true. What am I supposed to do? Just fucking, like, there's no thread for me to pull on.
I'm sorry, and I'm losing a little bit of steam. I didn't mean to, but let me put some more coal in the engine. No, it's just it's cool because we cracked that, so we think we can lean into multiplayer, and then maybe we never even do solo because multiplayer is just a ripper. Solo we do think we need because you want to like drill specific problems, but maybe you could just do bot like categories, specific categories.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, take it, dude. Take it somewhere.
We have stats now.
Okay,
predictive SAT. No, okay, so I don't think we talked about that. Cool thing was we just go to Jared. We're like, hey, we're missing this piece of the puzzle, which is like, I want to know how I'm doing, having played all these games. Jared effectively just turns on, I don't want to make it sound easy or trivial, but turns on stats, which is just all the data from our gameplay. And so now I have predictive SAT score, average speed, your streak, how many days in a row you've played. And immediately when we did that, at least in my head, I went from not trying to just do math problems as fast as possible, but actually I need to get them correct because I saw my predictive SAT going down when I didn't really try. So that was consequences. Yeah, that was a cool feedback, and it should only get better. We're gonna add like instant predictive SAT feedback. So as soon as you get a question right or wrong, you see if your score goes +2, -2, +6, whatever. Yeah, saved your ass.
Dude,
it's ripping. Jared's a fucking beast. We should get Jared on the pod. Intro to Jared.
Yeah, true. I'm trying to think if I got more business stuff, but I'm tired of business already.
Dude, we had like 3 calls today. It's crazy.
Maybe that's why. That's why.
3 business calls today. Good ones. Good high level ones.
The closest thing the closest thing
Dude,
I got to goo.
Yeah, let's hear it. But I have a question.
Okay. 2 bullets. One says Soho House giving girls free cookie plates. And the other is friends don't know how to flirt.
Okay. So let me, before we get to those, did you watch the David Blaine show I sent you yet?
Didn't. I'm sorry. I didn't.
Watch that and we'll talk about it. New David Blaine show called Do Not Attempt on National Geographic. It's really cool because he just travels somewhere, finds like some like magic from whatever corner of the world he's in, and then the episode it always culminates in him learning one new like big illusion. Actually, they're not illusions; they're just insanity. So I want you to watch the one about snakes. It's an entire episode dedicated to the king cobra. So watch that. Cool takeaway from the show on my quest. Yeah, what?
We could just play the whole episode here because I'm already demonetized.
And react to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, we could. I read this book called Steal Like an Artist. The thesis is basically, can you hear all those sirens?
I can, but I hear you too.
Okay. I can hardly hear myself. So the thesis of that book is basically there's nothing new under the sun. Everything is cobbled together old stuff or derivatives of old stuff. Mr. Beast, he's just whatever. Present day Fear Factor, that kind of thing. David Dobrik's vlog was just a reincarnation of Friends sitcom. David Blaine, dude, if you're familiar, eats glass, burps up frogs, and sticks needles through his arm. I thought he was inventing that stuff. I found out in the episode of the show, because he starts going into it, there's this book it's an ancient Indian magic book called Swami Mantra. It's almost like a religion of like these old Indian strongmen that just do this crazy stuff to prove how strong they are or whatever. Dude, everything David Blaine's doing is from that book. He just bought the book and he's just learning those tricks. I'm like, there's nothing new. Nothing new. So, watch the show. King Cobra one's
excited
crazy.
For this new hobby of yours. I can't
What,
wait.
Swami Mantra?
Well, I think here's the thing with magic. I think with magic, you only need one trick. Just one, dude.
Okay.
Because no one, maybe two, if you get a really good audience and they love the first one, it's good so you don't seem like a poser to just have one. It's kind of like when you're bidding on a seat upgrade and you bid like right over the min. Maybe have two, but that's all you need. You nailed two and you have anyone ever. And that was actually back in the dark arts days. Don't mean to dig those up. But this was like OG dark arts. They'd have like guys doing like magic tricks to impress hot girls. That was their thing. So luckily I never got into that.
Dude, if somebody walked up to me in a bar and did a magic, I'm out of there. So
no,
fast.
You're not though. You're buying Swami Mommy, dude. Swami. You'd be so locked in.
I love magic, dude. You remember? It's Swami Mantra first and foremost. I do want to buy a copy. So I'm obsessed with like, and I think this comes from you, but like the original. Like I want to go to the primary sources and be like, dude, there's a guy in this show that ate like a handful of nails. Another woman was chewing up razor blades and eating those. Do you remember at David Sachs's 50th birthday party, they had a magician walking around and the magician does a trick with us, I think David Sachs and Peter Thiel.
Us four.
Was Joe Lonsdale in that?
No, he sat next to us at dinner. He was separate.
So it was you.
This was after, yeah.
You, me. Was it David Sachs in that?
Yeah.
And Peter Thiel.
Us four, just boys hanging out.
Dude, and I can't remember the trick exactly, but it had to do. I do. Oh, yeah.
It was the phone trick.
Okay, what was it?
He got into his phone. He like guessed Peter Thiel's passcode on his phone, or David Sachs's passcode, one of their phones.
That was one of them. There was another where he asked Peter to think of anywhere in the world, and he thought of this obscure town in Namibia, this like obscure Dutch town in Namibia, right, and the magician like read his mind and figured it out, and Peter Thiel like fully freaked out. He was like trying. He went on
dark arts.
He went on a mini rant on like how magic is not logical or something. Yeah. Something. He tried to like flex logic on all of us, and we were all just standing there like
frustrated.
Yeah, we were like, well, it was a cool trick, so it's just we were like, Peter, dude, it's just a trick, dude. Dude, it's just an illusion.
Peter, calm down, dude. He's ready to throw hands. Yeah, and dude,
so mad.
That's why if this random dude can lock in both Peter Thiel and David Sachs and get them pissed off enough emotionally, like imagine the emotional response of a hot girl in the bar.
Yeah.
Game over, dude. Game over.
Yeah.
You start
guessing. Are you going to the Span tonight? I do want to find the name of the town.
No, I might have a date.
I think it was where he was born. I don't know. You might have a date? Well, tell us about it.
No, there's really not much. We could have.
Because I heard about one of those dates just when we went off the record of the last pod. It was the funniest thing I ever heard in my life.
No, dude.
No, you don't.
Hopefully that
I
doesn't
found it.
happen again.
Swakopmund.
Oh yeah.
That was the place in Namibia that he was thinking of that the magician got, and Peter freaked out. So wow, can't remember the last time I got Gardalued. Sad, Swami mommy.